Hello YouTube! Today on the Naughty Librarian, I am doing my November wrap-up. Sorry, side note everybody. It is so windy out right now when I'm filming this. It sounds like every wind chime in the world is twinkling outside my windows. So who knows what kind of magical sounds are going to be in the background, but I'll just call them production value and be done with it. So November was like another good month for books because I read 9 of them. 9 books, and none of them were particularly crummy. So, success. As usual, let's start with the good books and then we'll go down from there. First up on the good books list, I have Man Candy by Jessica Lemon. First off, I just have to say that I got Man Candy as an ARC from the publisher Loveswept via NetGalley. Man Candy is like just a tasty little piece of book candy. It's full of all of those romantic comedy chestnuts. Really, it has like all of the tropes. It's like, okay, there's a one-night stand that turns into something more. There's a whirlwind romance, fate, soulmates, laughs, and okay, here is like the biggest trope of romantic comedies. It's that big declaration of love scene at the end, and it's usually in a crowd, and all of the people around get real quiet and they're all very invested in this couple who are finally saying they love each other, and it totally happens. It totally happens in this book, and I freaking love it. It's so cliche and so corny, and I love it intensely. I don't care it's cliche. And no, none of those were spoilers, because this is a romantic comedy. You should be expecting these things. Our main characters are Dax and Becca. Both of them are very likable. I rooted for them to be together. Let's talk about the smut, because, oh man. Dax is just incredible in bed. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Oh my gosh. I think Jessica Lemon is trying to ruin real life men for us by inventing these awesome book boyfriends who know their way around a vagina like it's the back of their goddamn hands. By that I mean this book was delightful and I loved it to bits and the smut was awesome. So, yay! Next up on the good books list is God's Grave by J. Kristoff. 3 words for you guys. Holy freaking shit. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good. God's Grave is the sequel to Nevernight, and I thought Nevernight was brilliant, and oh my gosh, God's Grave, just as good if not better. It's, J. Kristoff is a genius. That's it. That's just all there is to it. Again, we are following our main character, Mia Corberry, as she, wreaks a path of bloody vengeance throughout the country. Mia is such a fascinating protagonist because, like, on the one hand, she has 0 qualms about murdering hundreds of people. 0 problems with it. But on the other hand, she isn't a sociopath. Like, she doesn't, like, enjoy murdering hundreds of people. Like, she'll do it, but it's not something she wants to do particularly. She doesn't wake up in the morning and say, should I have coffee or murder everyone? Chances are she'd probably pick the coffee. God's Grave is very much like Nevernight in the fact that it is full of gory violence. So if you're expecting something kind of not so graphic, this is not the book for you because this is very graphically violent. It's just good. Like, I'm not gonna get into like all of the details because that's gonna be spoilery, but it's just gory and delightful, and it's like a gladiator story, and it's just amazing. Like, I love it to bits. Please check this out. It's so good. It's so good. The next good book was The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Oh my god, where has this book been all my life? I know I've mentioned this like a lot, that I'm not into historical stories unless it has like magic in it. But basically, Gentleman's Guide just like took that opinion and just blew it out of the water because it was so freaking good. I was shocked by how good it was. Our protagonist's name is Monty, and he is life. I love him to bits. Monty is like an angsty teen version of Oscar Wilde that I never knew I needed. He's everything. To put it mildly, I liked Monty a lot. Overall, he just has the adorable rake demeanor about him that just makes you love him intensely. Like he messes up and you're like, "Aw, I can't stay mad at you, Monty." The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue is a male-male romance. Monty and Percy are an OTP that I rooted for so freaking hard. Like, I just wanted them to be together so much. Percy is the yin to Monty's yang, I'll say that. They're just adorable together, and they make my body full of happy when they're together. I was so excited for them to like get together. Okay, I could just keep going on and on and on forever and ever about how freaking much I love Monty and how funny this book was, and how much I loved it, but I'm just gonna shut up because it's gonna get very repetitive real quick. Bottom line is that I freaking love this a lot. Okay, let's move on to the not great books. These are kind of like the meh books because there weren't any ones that were particularly terrible. The first meh book is Bared to You by Sylvia Day. It's like the main reason I read this was for smut. Like, I thought, like, I mean, look at it. Like, this is gonna be real smutty. Like, you can tell by the cover. And it is super smutty. I would say at least 50% of this is just Gideon and Ava banging the hell out of each other. Like, that's what they do mainly all the time. They're not much for talking. Gideon and Ava are astronomically insane and obsessed with each other, and the story gets on the train to Crazy Town like real quick. Their crazy just like builds off each other. It's like Gideon is baking soda and Ava's vinegar, and then you put them together and then you just have like homemade volcano explosions of nuts like everywhere. Like, that's their relationship. Gideon is a psycho stalker and Ava is insanely jealous, irrationally jealous. If Gideon sends a text to Ava and she doesn't respond within 5 minutes, he will send people to stalk her throughout the city and track her credit card charges because he needs to know where she is at every moment of the day because he's a creep. If Gideon so much as sneezes in front of another woman, like, Ava's knee-jerk reaction is, "Are you fucking her?" Like, what? She's a crazy person. So, you know, maybe because she's crazy and he's a creep, maybe they're just perfect for each other after all, because, like, who else would want to put up with that kind of garbage? They're too crazy. They're too crazy. This is not something I want to deal with. Like, I can't deal with their crazy anymore. They're just buckets of nut jobs and I can't handle it. So I don't think I'm going to be continuing the series. But it wasn't so bad overall. Like a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not so bad. The next meh book is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. Our main character is Alosa. She is a daughter of a pirate king, as the title says, and she is going on a adventure. I didn't like it a lot. Like, I didn't think it was bad per se. It's just I didn't get what the hype was. For a long time, it feels like a middle grade novel, except that they have very mature subject matter, you know, like torture and sexual assault, because they're pirates, which makes it at least YA level, but like they read like middle grade characters. So there was just a weird disconnect there. It's like, go one direction or the other. Either have this be middle grade and clean it up, or have it be YA and let the characters be darker and like have more depth to them. I think that was my problem. It's like I felt like it didn't go enough one direction or the other for me to fully get behind it. It was like that weird middle ground, so I just kind of was confused about what I should have been getting out of it. And then there's your love interest, Raiden. Raiden is basically supposed to be like the most unpirate-like pirate to ever sail the seas. He's just so friggin' noble all the time. But here's the thing about that. If he was really all that noble as they made him out to be, why is he okay with knowing that his brother Draxon is like a total rapist? Like, he knows. Oh, he knows his brother's a rapist, and like he does nothing to stop him like being a rapist. So it's like, really, how noble are you if you're cool with like other dudes raping people? Just because you're not raping people doesn't make you cool if you know other people are doing it and you're doing zero things to stop it. Like, you're kind of a dick, yo. The one thing I really did enjoy about Daughter of the Pirate King was the siren lore. I haven't really read any books about sirens before, and it's kind of like a supernatural species that fascinates me at the moment. And I would like to read more about sirens because they seem cool. I liked it enough. It wasn't terrible. It just like, I couldn't like make out what I was supposed to be getting out of it. That was my problem. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. The last meh book I read this month was Adrenaline by Jeff Abbott. It's kind of like one of those dime store thrillers like James Patterson. I haven't read any books like this. I'm gonna try it out. Maybe I'll freaking love it. Because a lot of people love these books. They sell a lot of copies. It's like usual spy thriller stuff. It's about a guy named Sam Capra. He works for the CIA. And then like, he gets accused of something he didn't do. And he has to go on a rogue mission to save like his wife and kid. And then like, bad guys are around and he like saves the day. But there was this one thing that kept ringing false to me and that kept kind of pulling me out of the story, was the fact that Sam is like basically an analyst for the CIA. He's not a field operative. And then like all of a sudden he's in the field, you know, kicking ass and firing guns with Jason Bourne-like precision. And it's like, where did you pick up this combat training? Like the only like battle skills I think you have are parkour because you run around a lot. So it kind of didn't make a lot of sense that an analyst is somehow like super soldier field agent Jason Bourne level like good guy. Like the other thing is, they should just put a big old sticker on the front of this with a trigger warning for rape and sexual assault, because Jeff Abbott was rape happy during this book. Like, I think literally almost every single female character in this book was a victim of sexual assault. Maybe not in the book, maybe in their past, but it's like literally all of them. Like, why did every woman get raped in this? Like, there's so many things he could have done that weren't that, and it just felt exploitive? I don't know what the word is because I drank a lot of wine. Like, rape should not be a plot device, and it was. So I'm very disappointed in that. In the end, it just kind of felt like a single serving adventure for me. I don't really feel like I need to continue with the series. It's like when like a Jason Bourne movie is on TV and I'm like, oh hey, Jason Bourne, that's good. I like this movie. I'll watch a little bit of it. But if Jason Bourne's not on TV, I think 0% about Jason Bourne. Like, if it comes to me, like, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Otherwise, I, like, don't care. So that's kind of where I am with this book. So the last books I read this month were the whole series. I read the whole series of this. I, like, you know, like, book chugged them. That's a way of saying, like, I binged, but I just chugged them down because I read them one after another. And this is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Laini Taylor. And I feel like I'm going to have a lot to say about it, so I'll just do its own separate video, and you guys can check that out when I post it. Please let me know in the comments down below, have you read any of these books? If so, which ones are your favorites? Which ones are your least favorites? Let me know if you have any books I should definitely be reading in December. Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I will see you guys soon.